Hey, what's up everyone? This is going to be a follow-up to my Guilty Gear Xrd Sign video I did recently. This is Guilty Gear Xrd Revelator. And just like the last video, I'll be going over the physical copy and share my thoughts on the game. On the cover, we have a variety of the roster. It looks like we have Johnny and Jam on the cover. I think that's Kai with the close-up. I could be wrong. We also have a new character on the cover, which is Jacko. And I just noticed a DLC character on the cover. This is Cum. Okay, let's go over the details on the back. The fighting game that amazed the world. The latest installment of the Guilty Gear series. Intuitive controls and comprehensive tutorials make it easy to dive right in. High voltage action. Electrifying story. A new battle unfolds with 22 unique characters. Hang out with your friends in the lobby. On the inside, we have our game disc and a fat instruction manual. Let's take a quick look inside. Once again, I apologize for the blurriness. I suck at showing booklets on camera. The cover is pretty much the same. We have our character profiles as well as the character's move list. We also get a narration of the story of Guilty Gear. Okay, now that we got that out the way, let's talk about the game. Guilty Gear Xrd Revelator is an updated title to the Xrd sequel of the Guilty Gears. It's a 2D fighting game with some 3D elements. It has an updated roster with returning characters from the series along with new characters. Now let's go over the features. As you can see in the main menu, it kinda looks like it lacks in content compared to Guilty Gear Sign. On the battle tab, we have online, arcade, and dojo. Looks like once again you could crossplay with PS4 and PS3 players according to the text. Finding online matches is more active. It's not as bad as Guilty Gear Sign though, because you can at least see some activity in the lobby. You can interact with others in the lobby or sit down and wait for opponents on the arcade machine. For ranked matches, it's kinda different. Arcade is basically your offline mode to fight against characters, pretty self-explained. Now for the dojo. This is pretty cool. You have your tutorial basics and you get a good understanding on fighting games 101 by popping balloons and avoiding specific projectiles. This could give any beginner a good understanding of frame hit boxes and how a cancel attack is performed. And anyone who made it to this part of the tutorial minigame can understand the struggle. Combos is specifically made to learn combos. This is broken down for each character from the roster. You learn special moves, follow-ups, basic, cancels, and more. I also like the layout of the control on the screen. It really helps to learn the game's mechanics. Now we also have missions. Consider this like challenges. You will learn some techniques and missions. I believe you get 5 chances to try them out. These missions feel very rewarding once you master them. Now I must mention that everything in the battle menu will grant you world dollars. This is the game's currency. Similar to Guilty Gear Sign. You gain world dollars to unlock content, but I'll talk about that once I get to the gallery. Next up is story mode. On the start, we get the story picking up from the previous game's episode. Unfortunately, once again, the content in story mode is anti-game capture. So if you're using the PS4 game capture or the Twitch app on the PS4, the scenes will be blocked. We also have the Guilty Gear World feature. And just like Blaze Blue, this is an encyclopedia of the world of Guilty Gears, including characters, locations, previous games, content, organizations, weapons, powers, skills, you name it, they have it. So I can't complain that the game doesn't give you information of the world of Guilty Gear. On the collection tab, we have the feature to edit your R code, which returns from the Guilty Gear Sign. This is your game profile basically. You can also customize your avatar in the game. The avatar represents you in the lobby or when you're fishing for items in the game. I'll explain that later. Replay theater is self-explained. In the gallery, we have contents like art, cutscenes, and video promos, vocals, music, and content for characters. So for the most part, I believe there's 3 ways to unlock items in the gallery. One will be world dollars you gain in the game. And you could get a good amount of world dollars by just playing the game. I mean, anything in the battle menu will grant you world dollars. Unlike a specific fighting game that gives you a hard time to earn the game's currency to unlock items. The second method to unlocking items is just buying it straight from the PlayStation Store. and honestly, I feel like that's being lazy. I should also state that Raven is an unlockable character by having a specific amount of world dollars, but in the PlayStation Store he's $2.99. Raven is given the same treatment as Sin and Guilty Gear Sign, where in this case, once you unlock him, he doesn't really have any cutscenes regarding arcade mode. There's other characters that are DLC, which is Cum and Dizzy. Both characters go for $7.99. I believe Cum was given the Elfit treatment, and what I mean by that is that the character was free at launch, but now costs $7.99. I heard rumors that you can unlock Dizzy by using the third method of unlocking items. I don't know if that's true though. Now, what's the third method of unlocking? Well, the third method is fishing. Yup, your avatar gets his fishing rod and gets items for the game. However, fishing will cost you more dollars too. Cause you know, it'll be just easy just fishing for items, right? It's not so bad though. The last section is the digital figures section. Here you unlock figures of characters from the game. You can customize the character's gestures, color schemes, eye pupil locations, facial expressions, and more. It's cool, but it's a little too extreme for a figure I don't have physically. Just my opinion. So that's everything in the game. Now to share my thoughts on the game. No doubt about it, this game is good. This game seems very ambitious for its ideas for beginners in the tutorial mode. I love the idea it used. I think it's very beginners friendly. The animation once again has a great look to it, just like Guilty Gear Sign. Once again, the game takes advantage of the PS4 hardware to use the PS4 controller speaker to interact with the game. I applaud the game and the PS4 for their interactions. I also like the fact that there's crossplay with the PS3 and the PS4 players. For the most part, I could pretty much say the same thing I said about Guilty Gear Sign to Guilty Gear's Revelator. However, there are some differences, good and bad. Remember what I said about the main menu? It looks like it lacks stuff. I don't know. Also, the Revelator's audio language is Japanese only. Unless you're an otaku and prefer Japanese dialogue, this could be a problem. Especially since past incarnations of the game always had an English-speaking cast. Nah, don't get me wrong, I usually prefer subs over dubs, but I kinda prefer English in this game. Mainly because there's parts of the game where there isn't subtitles and we're just going to have to ignore the Japanese dialogue. A good example of this is the victory animations. I believe the same treatment was given to BlazBlue's Central Fiction. All the previous titles had an English-speaking cast except for the latest installments. In my opinion, it feels like the game has been rushed. I'm also glad to see that there's more activity in the online lobby. I was worrying that Guilty Gear was an obscure title this gaming generation. It's also good to see that the DLC characters from Guilty Gear Sign are part of the original rosters in Revelator, so you don't have to worry about purchasing them. I also want to note that I'm glad we have new and returning characters. I was mentioning where's Johnny in the Guilty Gear Sign review. Well, here he is in this game. We also have Jam and Dizzy. There's still some characters from previous games that didn't make it to Revelator, but I am pleased. I have my minor complaints about Revelator, but I do feel like it's worth picking up. This is a great game and has the potential of what fighting games can offer in the future. I want to thank you guys for tuning in and watching this video. These were my thoughts on Guilty Gear's Revelator. A must buy for any fighting game fan. Also, can't wait for the new info on Guilty Gear's Revelator 2 in the works. But stay tuned for that. I'll definitely will go over that game when it comes out. Hope you liked the video. Leave a like if you're a fan of the series. Comment on your thoughts on Revelator or any Guilty Gears game. Hit the bell to stay notified on the channel. And subscribe for more content. I am out. Peace.
あいつは本当に勘だけだが、実際頼りになりますよ。Answer
ちょっと待ちな。
Here comes a daredevil! Bike
切り捨てごめんだ。
Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2